Happy Monday, everybody. If such thing exists, and while it might be, a bummer of a weekend for me at least, was because F1's officially over, and I don't mean you guys might not watch it, but I do enjoy watching their product on track. It's just a bummer to see it. It's not everyone's thing. But the racing was better this year. Max might have dominated, but there was good stuff behind it. A lot of good racing behind it. So that's a big plus. Just means we have to wait. I think today's officially 104 days until the next time we get to see F1 on track. And before we get into everything, don't forget, follow along on the YouTube channel, Racing with Jesse Rosinski. That way, if I'm not putting out audio stuff, there's still going to be a bunch of YouTube shorts that happen. So you can keep track of everything that I do and I post on there so you don't miss anything, whether it's, people signing contracts and going places, new deals, anything, injuries that could happen, just any of the weird stuff that could happen. Make sure you follow along on the YouTube channel. It helps out immensely. Like, comment on them. Let me know what you think. Share them out. It really helps. But now, finally, getting into that F1 weekend because it was a big weekend, in Abu Dhabi. Put on a good race, and it was a long, season since all that testing started, and Max dominated. No anyone really seemed like they were even capable of doing in that situation to stop it. But there was a good it was a good season. We saw some dumb moves. We saw some crazy wrecks. We saw Max win like 15 of the 22 races. Granted, he got the record now, which was 13, and they ran two more races. Even if they only didn't run one, he'd only have it by one. But numbers are numbers, and he did it even if it was longer, and he dominated. So it's not like he didn't deserve it. We saw the streak of Lewis Hamilton winning a race per season come to an end after very, very many years of having it, but he did look better by the end of the year, and at least he was competitive. And there were some races where he looked like he was going to give up. He probably should have given up, but he didn't, and he salvaged it for a good day. So that was good. And George Russell got his first career win after, in his first year with Mercedes. He got his first career win and got them a win for the season. So they weren't shut out as a manufacturer, constructor, whatever they want to call it. And that's a really great thing, too, for the season, just to see them get the win. Otherwise, it would have been just Max, 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 Max. And, a few races here and there for everyone else. But I think three constructors winning is a good thing. Mercedes looking better towards the end, way better than they did at the beginning, is a great sign going into the next season. We just see, have to wait and see, what all everyone comes up with during the off season. But to get to the Abu Dhabi GP, Max Verstappen on pole with Checo second. That'd be his teammate Sergio Perez. For those who don't know, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari starting third and fourth, and then the Mercedes are on the third row with Lewis Hamilton starting fifth and George Russell starting sixth, which is just weird to see the teammates. Now they ran in points too, lined up that way. The person that was better in points is first, but it is what it is. I still enjoyed it. Pretty good. Set everyone up good. Checo did what he had to do, and he ended up getting second and getting it. Finishing, getting second there. Finished third, did what he could. But Max got the win. Charles Leclerc was second. Sergio Perez third. So Charles got, the second place spot in the championship. And even if Max gave him that spot back last week in the team orders, it would have still been a 1 point difference. So, there were times here and there where he could have done stuff to help him out and get him there because Checo's done a lot to help him through the last 2 years. But there's no shame finishing third, only 3 points out. Sometimes that's just one spot on the grid makes all the difference in the world. So congratulations to them being on the podium for the points, being Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, and Sergio Perez. Daniel Ricciardo got ninth in his last race for McLaren, which is good to see. Sebastian Vettel, last race in F1 altogether, finished 10th. Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen, 16th and 17th for the Haas's. Again, another bad day. Like, they had their peaks where they look good, and then when they didn't look good, they were just really bad, it seemed, for the Haas's. Hopefully they figure that out, just because, one American team, got to root for him. Lewis Hamilton, 18th after the first mechanical failure of the whole entire season for Mercedes, with about 2.5 laps to go. Sucked. It's what cost him to finish sixth and lose to Carlos Sainz in the long run, the points. But Still a good race until then, even with the idiocy at the beginning. Latifi 19th, what could be his last race in F1, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a car at all next year. And it's definitely his last one for Williams. Absolutely sucks, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. And Fernando Alonso was out on lap 27 with yet another mechanical issue. And that's how his run with Alpine is going to finish, is with another mechanical failure. But really, honestly, I just think he's happy to be rid of it and to move on and be gone. So congratulations to him, I guess, because it's finally over. And he let us know that several times. So go and get it. I look forward to see what he can do down the road later. He could drive. He's a former champion. Just, find the right fit for him and the right teammate where you don't want to rip the guy's head off probably tends to help. So congratulations, to him to finally be done with it and finishing it out. But Charles Leclerc gets second in the points, again, by 3 points. We're Checo in third, and Carlos Sainz got Lewis by 6 points after the mechanical failure. So 1 and 3 for Red Bull, 2 and 5 for Ferrari, and 4 and 6 for Mercedes in the points standings. They could crumble again. They were the top 6, and if you see the points, like there was no one else even near any of them, even with the failures that they had. So they were the class of the field, even if Mercedes was behind them most of the time. They're still right there. They deserved every bit of it. Williams ended the season 19th and 20th, which is the last two full-time driver spots in the points. Mick Schumacher 16th for Haas, Kevin Magnussen 13th for Haas. He had 13 more points than Mick in his return. And Daniel Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel, retiring Sebastian Vettel, and Daniel Ricciardo's last race for McLaren was going to go be the reserve driver, backup guy for, to go back to Red Bull. So we'll see how that leads down the road for him, but tied, for 11th and 12th, they're collectively at 37 points. So not a bad run altogether. Again, there was dumb things that happened along the way, but good to see them both go out and get to finish the race and running good. That was good, as it's, so Vettel's done and Ricciardo's going to be a reserve driver. So he's not going to be full-time next year. So it's good, if that's how it ends for Daniel Ricciardo and all that. At least he ended a good race, a clean race, and Vettel went out doing good. Ferrari locked up second in the Constructors Championship over Mercedes. Red Bull obviously was first with 759 points. They were just long gone a long time ago. Ferrari second at 554, Mercedes third at 515. And then I just put this in perspective. Alpine was fourth at 173 points. So third was at 515, fourth was at 173. I mean, that just shows you, again, Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes were the class of the field all season. No one can argue that. No one can deny that. And there was no one close to them. We'll see what happens. I don't think anyone's going to close up enough for it to make a big difference, but we'll see what, Ferrari and Mercedes can do to catch up to the Red Bulls with that straight line speed, because if they don't do anything about that, they're never going to beat them again, ever. But that gets us also to Sebastian Vettel. In case no one knows his career stats, 300 Grand Prix entered, got 122 podiums, 53 wins, 3,098 total points, 4 world championships, 57 poles. His first pole was in 2008 in the Italian GP, and his last was 2019 in the Japanese GP. A hell of a run to him. Definitely, Hall of Fame across the board for racing and anything else. Across the board, he earned, all of it. He's going out early too. Nice and young. He's only, born a year before me. So really young and running really good, but look how long he's been doing it, go and do other things in life. So I wish him the best of luck in all his future endeavors, and everyone should. My wife, I didn't like him as, Ferrari driver. I just thought he was too, but again, when you drive for one of those teams, you have to be more stiff. And it was just his desire and passion to win. He didn't like coming in second. And I completely understand that. So congrats to him and everyone else, though. It was a good, race overall behind Max most of the season. The stats prove there's 25% more passes this year than last year, which is, a big change of pace and a really good thing that they needed in the sports to get, more action on the track, not just follow the leader. Granted, there was a bunch of races where it was follow the leader. There's some tracks like Monaco where they have no choice but be follow the leader. But they did improve it with the new car. We got to see them at the Miami date for the United States. We're getting Vegas next year, even though it starts way too late. I already went over it. Find the thing on the YouTube channel or Anchor or any of that, but I think it's there too. Find that or I complained. If you don't know when it's starting, look it up or find that. You'll understand why I'm kind of pissed about it. But we also got to see, Checo. There we go. Sergio Perez become the first Mexican driver to win the Monaco GP. So, yeah, there's a small little golf clap for him just because I don't want a microphone to pick it up and be all crazy. But that's a big deal. To see that, happen there. Granted, I mean, it was a track where you can't pass. He got up front. He did what he had to do to get there. Can't hate him for that. Good driving. Congratulations to him. First career win for George Russell. We saw him crying last year, driving for Williams in their equipment, which, as I said, 19th to 20th this year. Nothing to brag about. He got his first career points last year. He went from that with the Williams to getting his first career win in Brazil in the Sao Paulo GP, which is amazing. And again, it got Mercedes something because the way the year was going, they needed something. And I was glad to see it. I don't know. I mean, if any fans of any other teams were, I was just happy in general, just because, again, someone else got a win with the way Max was driving. Then you got his teammate won a few of them. Like there wasn't much room for error, if you're anyone. So to get one, regardless of how late it was, or if it was only one, that had to be a great boost for the whole Mercedes AMG Petronas F1 team to get that win. So congrats to him. Max set a record for most wins in a season, most points in a season, biggest margin of victory when he won in Suzuka by 27 seconds, which broke the record by 7 seconds. All kinds of other things that's still to get onto. I can't remember all of them that they said, but I might add he's got it by 7 seconds in that race. We won by 27 plus. And it was only a 28 lap race. I mean, that pretty much summed up the whole season. He was in a different zip code, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. But when you're running that good and dominant, what else is there to do? So can't complain about that. But really, dominance by them, but a great season with great racing behind Max. Again, the passes prove it. He showed some spots of being human, which we all need. But we got to see a lot of good racing, a lot of passes. You got to see, again, Checo become the first Mexican driver to win in Monaco. We got to see George Russell get his first win. We got to see, Haas and Kevin Magnussen get first pole for both of them, first laps led, in F1, even if it wasn't a sprint race, still got to see it happen, which is great. Now we got to see all that, we get Fernando Alonso leaving Alpine. We got Sebastian Vettel retiring. Daniel Ricciardo's gone. Like Latifi gone. Like there's a lot of people moving around too for next year to see how all this is going to happen, and new names coming here, there, and everywhere to look, forward to. And we'll see what the offseason brings, because it's going to bring even more. And, no one can deny that. And I'm really, really excited to see what they do. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, follow along on the YouTube channel, because it helps out immensely there. And then share everything out, like the videos, comment on them, let me know what you think. And until we meet again, my friends, enjoy the rest of your week, and peace.